Let me think about it.
Okay, well, so what do you think about
Okay. I don't know.
Okay, I mean, so how old are you right now?
33.
So you're 33 years old, and you don't have any insurance right now, right? So how much longer are you going to go without insurance? How much longer are you going to go without having some protections, some financial protections for your family?
Go ahead. Good. And speechless.
Julian, me and my wife, we just don't make decisions right away. Yeah.
Okay. I'm keep around and tell you exactly what I said. So you don't make decisions right away, but you don't currently have any coverage right now, right?
Actually, we do. We have something. We have like a whole life.
A whole life.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand how the whole life policy works?
I mean, all I know is that if we die or something like that, my wife gets something, and if I'm able to get some, I think savings. I think the agent said something like that.
So I mean, you pretty much generally know, but you don't know in detail.
Yeah.
But let me break down how your policy works and what we have. Okay. And then based off of that, make a decision. If you're not satisfied, that's fine. But if you feel like we have a better offer, we can offer you better coverage, then let's go with that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Go.
I want to shop around.
Shop around. Okay. So what exactly are you looking for?
Just something I can be comfortable with, not pay so much, but to have something for me.
So something that fits your budget.
Yeah.
So if we sit down and we we done like the financial needs analysis, where we sit down, we looked at your budget, look at what we had to offer, okay, and it fit what you can afford. Would that be something you'd be open for?
Yes.
Okay. So let's sit down and do that.
All right. Cool.
To be honest with you, I just don't want to have another bill.
Another bill.
Yeah.
So you view insurance as another bill.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to pass away tomorrow, what is your family going to do?
I got a 401k.
Okay. And you think that's sufficient?
And I got my insurance through work too.
Work. Okay. So in the next 5 to 10 years, I mean, if there's something were to happen to you, let's say you were terminally ill and you weren't able to work, then what would you do?
Just survive off the 401k for a little bit.
For a little bit. But would you rather have something in place where you don't have to speculate if they'll survive a little bit, or you don't have to think about it? You know that they have enough coverage to at least cover your income for about 5 or 10 years.
That's important to you, right?
That's important to you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't look at it as another bill. I mean, look at it as financial protection for your family, okay?
Okay.
Because if you don't have this in place, what are they going to do if you're not around? So let's sit down and look to see what's comfortable for you, to see what fits your budget, and we can go from there. That's all.
That sounds good.
All right.
Also,
I'll be honest with you, Matt. I can't afford it.
Okay, can't afford it. So you think if you were to pass away, in the next week or two, or next 5 or 10 years, if you can't afford it now, what is your family going to do?
They're probably. I think they'll be fine. I have something at my job.
Yeah, something at your job, but you're not guaranteed to be at your job, are you?
I kind of want to retire there.
You want to retire, but there's not a guarantee, right? Tomorrow's not a guarantee. Would you rather have something that you know that's in place, that if something happens to you, you know your family's taken care of? As a responsible adult, would you want to leave your family in financial ruin?
No, I don't want them to be responsible.
Okay, so let's look at some options for you, okay?
All right. Good. One more.
What's the other one?
Do this one.
To be honest, man, I'm not planning on dying anytime soon. That's for sure.
You're not planning on dying anytime soon.
Yeah. I'm young. I'm 24. I've been taking care of my health and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't plan on dying.
Okay, so got him. Okay.
I want to do it. I want to practice.
I'm trying not to laugh. Hold on. I'm trying not to laugh. Okay.
We got 15 minutes to this, so.
So you don't plan on dying anytime soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know when you're gonna die?
There you go.
I mean, I think maybe around like my 80s, 90s.
You think maybe 80s, 90s? Okay.
Yeah.
But you're not for sure.
I mean,
Well, what are you basing it off of?
just from what I've seen with my family.
Okay. So it's not a possibility that you would die earlier, like an accident. I mean, what if you didn't die? I mean, a lot of people think the worst thing that happened to them is death. But what if you became terminally ill? Then what would you do?
I mean, at that point, I'm not quite sure. I mean,
If you have a plan with us, we have an option where if you became terminally ill, we actually would give you 40% of your policy. And that can help pay for medical bills, pay the last vacation, possibly, pay for some things that might extend your lifetime.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds too bad.
So let's explore some options for you, okay?
Okay.
Cool. All right. Coach, you want to? Oh, Osiris?
Oh, for objection?
Yeah.
All right. Then.
No, that's it. That's it, right? That was 10, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can go back to the recruiting one.
Okay, go back. No, go back. Go back.
No, that's it. That's only got 2.
Yeah, go back to the second slide you were on. Next one.
Oh, I mean, like you want to be the. Oh, for
Man, I'm too young. I don't need life insurance right now.
The life insurance. We are experts say the best time to get life insurance is when you're young. The reason is you can buy a lot and you can get it a lot more affordable than if you did years down the line. The best thing to do is buy as much insurance as you can as young as you can. That way you don't have to worry about it later on.
Give me the objections, and then we're gonna have Osiris go.
Right.
Hey, you beast,
Let's go.
boy. Let's go. You beast. Whichever one. Give it to me.
Out of 0 to 100.
70. You're very confrontational.
So I was trying not to be. I know. But so the best.
Like I feel like you about to square me up.
Yeah, so I spoke to someone that actually was involved in doing what you're doing and what you're offering to me, and it didn't work out for them. They told me that it was not as easy as it was expected to be.
Let me ask you a question. Is your friend, what does he do right now for work?
He works at a bank for a financial advisor.
Would you say he's very successful?
I say semi.
Well, what do you consider successful?
Amount of money he's making, I guess.
Well, how much is that kind of money that you consider successful?
I think about 120,000 a year.
First of all, nobody in a bank in one walking these
He's a
120,000.
financial advisor.
It don't matter. I know them. Well, let me ask you a question. Okay, you want to base your success on somebody else's failures, or you want to base your success on your efforts and your action you take?
By myself.
Okay, so I don't understand why you're gonna say I know somebody who tried it. They didn't have results. How many people try the gym? They don't have results.
A lot.
You got a gym membership?
Yeah.
You go every day?
No.
How can you be fit if you don't go every day, or at least that or often?
All right.
It's very hard, wouldn't you agree?
True.
But let me ask you a question. Besides that, could you use extra income?
Yes.
And are you making the 6-figure income like your friend is?
No.
Okay. When are you going to start making a 6-figure income like your friend is, or you don't want something like that?
Yeah, you're right. You got a point.
Do you want to? Do
I
you really
do
want to?
I do want to.
Okay. I make 6 figures doing what I do as well. If you're open, I can teach you. You're open?
Yeah.
What's your phone number? Only if you're serious.
Start 6'7".
Okay. Okay, first of all, people don't make 6 figures in banks right now. Go ahead.
I don't think this is not for me.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried it?
No.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. When you say it's not for you, what are you referring to? Helping people,
I don't
making
think,
money?
I don't see
or-
myself like selling or people things.
Okay. So you think this is more so selling people?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to sell.
So let me ask you a question. Do you like helping people?
I mean, yeah, you
Yeah.
can help.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question. What are you, Hispanic?
I am his.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. In our community, how many people are actually doing what we do to help our community?
I'm not sure.
How many insurance and investment advisors do you know that are Hispanic?
I don't know any.
So if you really want to help out people, why don't you look at it this way, where you actually take the time to educate them, our families in our community, we take an approach of educating them. If you look at it that way, would you at least be open to it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I can.
Now let me ask you a question. If I were to give you $500 right now, would you take it?
Hey, what?
Okay.
Hold up.
Take that shit. If I were to give you $500 right now, would you take it?
Yeah.
Okay, why would you take it?
Because it's money.
It's extra money, right? So if it's extra money, it's not that you don't want to make extra money. It's just that you don't want to feel like you're selling something to somebody. But if you could take the approach of educating them, you'd be open then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's get together. We'll talk more details. Sounds good.
Yep.
All right. Perfect.
There you go.
Thanks.
Well, to be honest,
I got a
right now
camera.
I'm short. I don't have any
No,
money.
I-
Oh, for the background?
Yeah, for the back.
Okay. Oh, when do you get paid next?
I get paid in 2 weeks.
Okay, so we'll process everything in 2 weeks.
I just have upcoming bills and stuff like that. I'm like very short because of the whole.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you always short?
Lately I have been. Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you like that feeling?
I mean, no, it sucks because I'm, I have to put down meals
question
and stuff like that. So.
The question, let me ask you a question. When would you want to start being short on income? Now or 6 months from now?
I mean, if I could right now.
Okay. So when are you gonna make a decision to make that happen? 6 months from now or now?
I mean, if I could now, but I'm short with the money.
Okay. Because if I had a car outside,
Mhm.
a C300 Mercedes convertible top,
Okay.
2-door, leather,
Okay.
and it costs you 124, and I said you got to get it to me in 30 minutes. Could you find it?
I can probably ask a friend or something like that, or
Okay.
borrow.
My question is, could you find it?
Yeah.
If I said in 30 minutes, the car is yours, you'd be bringing $124. Could you find $124?
I could borrow it. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not the question that you don't have it. It's the thing is you don't see the value in what I'm telling you about.
Okay.
You know, the guy I'm working with, right? We make between $250 to $750 per client. Okay.
Okay.
When we help out a client.
Oh.
And the guy I'm working with makes over 6 figures doing this business. So could you, my question is, if you could find 124 in the next 30 minutes, I'll be willing to work with you if you're serious.
Okay. So
You're serious?
I'm serious.
Okay, great. So let me give you your debit card.
Okay.
So I can put it here and I'm gonna process in about 30 minutes. Sounds good?
It sounds good.
All right. Perfect.
All right, cool.
Yeah, they on the road, so let's skip down a little bit. Right now I'm too busy.
Too busy?
Yeah.
Too busy getting by, too busy getting ahead.
Too busy getting getting by. Yeah, I
Okay.
guess
When do you want to get ahead?
now. Yes.
Now? Okay. Well, then let's get you going.
I mean, but how much time do I need?
How much time do you have?
Probably, maybe 2 or 3 hours throughout the week.
Perfect. Let's do that. We're just 2 or 3 hours. Let's get you going. What's your guys try to get your debit card? I'm not telling him 5, 6 hours, 10 hours. I said, how much time do you got? And then he's gonna tell me 2, 3 hours. Perfect. That's all we need. And then we could take the 2, 3 hours to 10 hours, to 15 hours, to 20 hours, and then full time.
I'm not interested.
What are you not interested in? Making money, helping people, or both?
I just really don't think it's for me.
What makes you think it's not for you?
Being up and talking to people or going up to people, like, it's not me. I
Who
don't.
said you're gonna do that?
Huh?
Who said you're gonna do that?
Well, how would you get clients?
That's what we're gonna sit down so I can teach you. But I mean, let me ask you a question. If you had a restaurant right now, if you go into business, what kind of business would you own?
Probably a restaurant.
A restaurant? Now let me ask you a question. How would you find your clients?
Just probably at the door when they come in.
Yeah, but how are they gonna come to the door if you never did advertisement or if you never talked to somebody? How are you gonna find? How are they gonna come?
Probably just posters.
Posters where?
At glass doors or.
But you're talking. You're doing some random stuff that you just said you didn't want to do.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you really? do you know what it takes to own a business? Have you owned a business before?
No,
Okay. Okay. But why do you want to own a business?
just to have something for me.
Is it maybe because you get, first of all, you can make your own hours, your own schedule,
That's a.
and you can possibly make more money?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to learn some of those skill sets. Do you want to? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get you going. I don't know.
I did some research on it, and it was giving a lot of negativity about the company. So can you assure me that it is possible for me to grow?
Man,
and
you
make
know
some
what?
money?
When I first started too, I did the research too, and there's always a lot of negative stuff online, and I understand. But let me ask you a question. I mean, you seem like a fairly intelligent person. You know somebody who's been to college or is in college?
Yeah.
Who's that person?
Myself.
Yourself, you're in college? Let me ask you a question. If you were to write a paper to your professor, okay, can you just put any random source or do you have to cite your source and be credible?
I have to decide to be credible.
Okay, so when you did your research, what kind of research did you do? Was it credible sources like Wall Street, Forbes, Success
No, I guess
Magazine,
it was more
USA
just
Today,
like
the
comments.
State Insurance Commissioner?
No.
No? Yeah, and I understand because typically in our fingertips, I mean, you can Google right now anything and you'll find something positive and negative about anything.
Okay.
But you seem like a very intelligent person. I'm assuming you are, right?
I think so.
Okay. So if I will share the right research, would that help you out making a decision moving forward?
To insure me, yeah. Can you do that?
Perfect. Let's do that.
All right.
Okay. But only if you're serious.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Did somebody get what he said in recording?
Go ahead, Derek.
I like that.
So I don't really feel comfortable giving you my personal information over the internet like this. I've never done anything like that besides.
This is Zoom. It's not internet.
Yes, I just don't feel comfortable giving that information like my social and my.
Okay. Are you here in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Okay. When can we get together? Today? In the next 30 minutes?
Yeah, sure. My dad's paying for me to go to college. I don't really think I need anything.
How old are you?
My dad owns a business.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
24? Now, I'm assuming you're able to make your own decisions, right? Okay. Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about your dad paying for your college? Being an adult.
Well, I don't worry about it. My dad takes care of it.
All right, thank you so much, man. Talk to you soon. 24 years old, parents paying for college. So he seems too lax. I'm gonna be like, bro, come to meetings.
You're forcing something that shouldn't be forced.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the IBA, but it's gonna be forceful, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Let's go.
Next.
That's good, Christian, bro.
Okay, one more and we're gonna be done, okay? Because Johnny has his train. This is good. Like,
Okay, so there's just for people in Zoom and those of you in POL overcoming objections, I would recommend you guys to check it out. So just pick one of these. Okay.
oh, there you go. I would say go back to the presentation.
The presentation? Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're right there back. Okay,
All right, then closing.
closing objections.
Can we speak random? Or
Yeah, well, start from the top.
Right now I have insurance to work. I'm good.
Okay, so insurance to work.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know exactly how your insurance to work works?
I mean, they take about $12 out, and I have about like 20,000 coverage.
Okay.
If something happens to me, they pay me.
How much is the coverage you said?
About 20,000.
20,000? Okay, now let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Do you think 20,000 is enough? God forbid something were to happen to you in your household,
It's not very good.
just to bury you, right?
With a little change left over here.
Okay. Do you think now, God forbid something were to happen to you, right?
Mhm.
What happens to your income?
It's wrong.
And then what happens then to your family?
They.
Now, let me ask you again. Do you think 20,000 is enough,
I mean, no, not really. But it's only $12 though.
right? It's only yeah, that's awesome. But now, let me ask you a question. I mean, that's awesome, right? If you're paying $12, it's affordable, right? That's probably another reason why you probably got it, right?
Mhm.
Now, if I could perhaps show you something that's still affordable, right? And maybe perhaps get you more coverage, is that something that you'll be open to?
Yeah, y'all could beat that. Yes.
Okay, yeah, we can show you some plans. And now let me ask you another question. Do you happen to have that contract from that policy that you have for work?
No, I don't have it.
No, right? And I'm gonna explain to you a little bit about how work insurance works,
Mhm.
and then we're gonna go through some quotes, okay?
Okay.
All right, bro.
Now here, that one. Joe, let me ask you a question.
Hold on.
So I have insurance through work.
Number
Okay.
one.
Joe, let me ask you a question. When it comes to driving, let's say you were taking a long trip to Florida and you don't even know the person driving, the car and you have your whole family in the car,
Okay.
would you feel more comfortable you driving the car or a stranger that you don't even know driving the car?
Me, hands down.
Okay. Well, right now that you have work insurance, can you guarantee me that you feel 100% comfortable with your company making sure that your family's being taken care of even if you're not here?
I never thought about it like that.
And we never do. But wouldn't you agree it's our responsibility as men to make sure our family's protected?
Yeah.
Right? So when do you want to get started with your plan? Today?
Yeah, let's
He's
go.
a macho man.
Next.
I'm sorry.
So I like what you're saying. I'm kind of interested, but can you give me some time to think about it?
Okay, okay. So you need some time, and let me ask you a question. What is it that you gotta think about? Is it the price? Is it the coverage? What is it exactly that you gotta think about?
Insurance policy. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's just I have to look over my bills and see if I can actually afford the premium each month. And I want to jump into something and sign on to and say I can do it, and then it default later on.
Okay, okay. Now, let me ask you a question. So, based on what we went through in the analysis, right?
Yeah.
Right now you have some money in your account, right? But let me ask you this question, right? God forbid something were to happen to you. Is what you're in your bank account, is it enough to cover all of the expenses? God forbid something were to happen to you?
No, but I have a group insurance at my job right now that will cover me if something were to happen now.
Okay. Oh, group insurance. Okay. So now, so how much coverage you have there?
About $100,000.
100,000?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if I gotta use coverage, okay. So, okay, 100,000. Okay, perfect. Like, now, if you were, let me just ask you another question, right? This is so many- I do be asking flying questions though. So if you were to drive, right, and you had your whole family in the car, right, and and you have somebody else driving for you, or if you were driving, for yourself, how would you feel more comfortable? Somebody else, a stranger driving for your family in the car, or yourself?
Probably myself.
Probably
Yeah.
yourself, right?
Yeah.
Now, right now, the way that your life insurance is set up, that's actually how it works.
Okay.
How it's currently, you're trusting your employer.
Okay.
For your family's financial future.
Okay.
Is that something that you feel comfortable with?
Well, we talked about letting me think about it because I didn't actually know if I had enough money right now. And then you kind of told me, well, what if something were to happen, tomorrow to me? And like I said, I have insurance right now, so that'll protect me for now.
Okay.
So my family would still be protected for now.
Okay. But now, let me ask you another question. How likely is it for you to stay at that job?
At that job, I'm about 22 years old. About maybe 10 to 15 years from now.
Okay. And how much time do you think you need to figure your finances out? Do you need,
Give
a
me
week,
about a month.
a month?
Yeah, about a month.
Okay, so you need a month to figure out what your expenses are, or
Yeah, I haven't. Actually, to be honest with you, I don't really keep calculations of that. I just go based off of how much money I'm making per check, and I pay my bills based off like that. So
Okay.
I never actually had to sit down and look at my expenses. All I know is that I'm really tight with money right now, and I have about $20 in my hand, and that I can use for worst case scenarios to put gas or something.
So what you're telling me is that basically you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you're a little bit tight.
Yeah, that's why I got to think about it to see if I can sign up for this right now.
Okay. So now, again, God forbid something were to happen to you, right? And like I said, we're not guaranteed to be at that employer for a very long time. You might have plans of staying there for 10, 15 years,
Mhm.
but maybe your employer doesn't,
Right.
right? So you can be let go of that, job fairly quickly, right? Now, another thing, do you know how really your program works as far as that life insurance through work?
To be honest, no.
Okay, because sometimes it's accidental, so it only covers where you get an accident at a job, right? Wouldn't you like to know that for sure you have that coverage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's why it's important to put something outside of work.
Okay.
And if you're paying for this policy, you might as well pay something that you own.
Yeah, I get that. I just gotta give me
Cool.
time.
That's it.
All right. Now we go with Johnny's, yeah, because
Cool.
That was awesome.
Okay. That was good.
That was good.
We're gonna do that every training.
All right, guys.
Hey, Christian, bro,
Every training.
can you send that presentation, the slides to me, bro?
Oh, you want to keep it? You want to keep it?
I was recording.
So Johnny's gonna go over how to do an interview.
Do you guys have that interview set up?
Yeah.
You have it on your person.
I think I have it.
What's up, folks? That was awesome, right? You guys got some insight. I know you guys get to hear some of that stuff like firsthand experience. When we're at appointments, right? But maybe we never actually like practice it like that hands-on at the office. So I like the creativity wherever you found it or however, it was awesome. Lined it all up, right? And started drilling, right? That's gonna definitely you send it?
Oh, you want me to send it?
Yeah, send it to me so I can share it to everyone. I really can.
That was good.
But I don't have that thing. It's not using it forever ago.
For real?
Yeah. Right. Do I show up? Just send it to my phone. That's not gonna be me. Sorry, guys. There's a piece of document that I forgot to get prior to here, but it'll at least allow me to lay out what I need to lay out. Yes, it's in the text. I'll be able to pull it up here. All right, cool. There it is. Ability. Add to TT, create new notes. New process, life form. Present, import. All right, cool. Here we go. So I'm gonna jump in here. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm going over the recruit presentation. Meryl told me to go over the presentation on how we do a recruit interview, right? How we should go through it. Honestly, I'm gonna give you guys more so. If you guys were on that meeting the other night with AB, you heard him talking about have fun with this thing, have fun with the business in the sense of you don't gotta be so professional, stale, lying like all I don't know what the term is, but like all blocky, all squared out kind of thing. Like be relaxed with it, right? If you see me do some interviews sometimes, you're like, what the hell am I saying? Because I'm having fun with it. I'm being real. I'm being myself. I'm just letting it out. So I'm just talking stuff. Sometimes I'm talking crap, whatever. Because it just makes that person comfortable. Like, oh, it ain't so strict, so dry like that. So that's honestly how I recruit the people. I give the same presentation. I can give you guys my presentation, but it varies person to person, right? Let's see. I'm gonna find something. Who has the most? Julian. I'm gonna use you. I'm gonna use him as an example. So, but I'm gonna try to stay here on time. So, just stay in front of me, so you can see it there. Just as somebody to respond back to me. All right, cool. So, but now let me jump in here. I'm gonna share you guys the presentation setup. So, interview process. Here we go. We have an interview process when it comes to how we do it, how we set it up. There's a step-by-step process. Now, once you know what you're doing, make it you. Be comfortable with it. We still follow the script. I still follow the same thing. It's just that I'm not, I don't gotta look at this thing anymore. I'm just, like I said, being me. I made it to myself. And you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna practice this process, and then you're gonna make it to yourself where you feel comfortable presenting it. So that way you don't feel so like constrained to the specific thing. You don't gotta do it exactly like we do. We just give you a model to follow. So now when we do an interview, this is what we like doing in the beginning. These are like not the steps here, but this is how one thing that we lay out. It's some called we identify by, we like doing business with people we can identify with, ask qualifying questions, getting them emotionally attached. Then we give the presentation, and then we ask for the money. So let me see if it's laid out here. Oh, here are the questions. So when somebody sits down in front of me, these are the questions I start going through right away. Part-time, will you?
Okay. If at any given point,
Thank you for coming. Oh, here it is. So, you thank them for coming in today. Hey, thanks. Hey, Julian, thank you for coming in today. I'm sure you'll have some questions for me and I'm gonna have some questions for you. But if at any moment, right, I'm not gonna read it word for word, but if at any moment you feel that the information I'm going over with you, Julian, is not something for you, feel free to stop me, man. Feel free to say, hey, Jonathan, I ain't feeling you. I ain't feeling you, man. I ain't feeling you, dog. It ain't something for me, right? Stop right there, all right? And I would say that. I would honestly say that, but I'm just giving you an example that I'm throwing in there right now. But if at any moment, Julian, if I feel it's not something for you, right? If I feel that you just, it ain't right for you, or if you just start falling asleep on me, you're distracted or something, I'm gonna let you know, all right? And that way we don't waste each other's time. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
All right, cool. So you address that. Why? Because it gives them a cop-out and gives you a cop-out. Because at some times you'll find people in the middle of an interview that start doing this. I haven't had that in a very long time, but I remember people would get like this and like, or acting like, they're like annoyed or distracted, like, and that way you can stop. But at the same time, if they feel at some moment they don't like you, okay, cool, let you know, and they just, whatever, that's fine, move on, find somebody else. Now the next thing is you want to get to know them, right? And that's how I do it. What do you do for work right now, right? You're gonna ask them, what do you do for work? And then what do you enjoy about the position? What do you like about it? And then what would you alter or what would you change, right? So now these questions, we're doing them because you're collecting ammo. What does it mean to collect ammo? Well, you're getting reasons to give back to them, to regurgitate back to them when you're gonna ask for the money. You're gonna ask them for $124. And of course, if they do what they're supposed to do, they're gonna get it back. But I'm collecting ammo because if they're gonna tell me, so just whatever, you work back at UPS. So what do you enjoy about that job, Julian?
No, the freedom on the road, driving, not having someone over me.
Okay, so ammo, he's telling me he likes freedom. What else? He likes, he has no boss, right, over him. I'm collecting nuggets. I'm collecting ammo to regurgitate and to reconnect it back to our business. Now, what are some downsides about that position? What are some things you don't like, things you would change, things you would alter about the position?
Long hours and not enough pay.
Long hours and you don't get paid enough? Okay, cool. So again, I'm collecting ammo, the positives and the negatives. I'm collecting ammo. What would you alter? What would you change? And that's kind of the same thing as what you don't like and things like that. And now, who else besides, now this question, number 4, if you work with me, you haven't heard me say that too much, just because the people we have been, some of them we've been sitting down with are older. So if they are older, I would just assume most of the time, unless there's a reason, that they can make decisions for themselves. But if I feel like they're married, or I have an idea that they're married, or I already know that they're married, or if they are very young, if they're young, I say, who else besides yourself helps you make decisions when it comes to jobs or careers?
Yeah, I would say, I would discuss it with my wife.
Your wife?
Yeah.
Okay, so you make decisions when it comes to career options with her, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then the best thing, brother, would be for us to get back together with her, get her here on a meeting, so that way we can explain the information to both of you. Now, that's one way I might go about that. The other way says, okay, look, I know you guys make decisions together, right? But if you feel this is something that's right for both of you, right, that could get you ahead and get you what you want, you could probably make that decision by yourself.
Absolutely.
All right, great. Right. Now, if they're young, definitely if they're young, I want their parents there. You want their parents there. Just like Omero said, you were giving that example of the 24-year-old in college where mommy and daddy are spoon feeding them, right? If somebody like that is telling you they want to think about it, they don't want to do it, that's okay. Don't worry about them, right? They still got some growing up to do. Don't beat yourself up around those kinds of people. I'm just like, all right, cool. You definitely got some growing up to do, right? And you'll with time you'll see that. So that's why we ask those questions. And then we'll offer solution. Now this is the set script, again, I have made it natural to me, but when he says offer solution right here, you're taking the ammo you just gathered, the freedom, no boss, all this stuff, and you're gonna regurgitate to them. So all this is happening in a conversation. And if you work with me or with your upline, you've probably seen this happen, where I'm asking all these questions, we're just going back and forth, and it's just like this, right? You can't even tell that I'm having like an interview and I'm gathering information from them at that time. So now, offer the solution. Look, Julian, if I could show you an opportunity where you got the chance to be able to have flexibility, right? You get to go around wherever you wish, right? You don't have somebody overseeing you, watching every last move of you. You have a better control of your hours, and then you can actually get paid what you're worth. Would you be open to that?
Most definitely.
All right, definitely. Now, you heard what I just said, and you saw how I said. What if I said this? Now, this is what I'm trying to tell about having fun with it. I'm acting right now. I'm acting. Look, Julian, if I could show you an opportunity where you can have more freedom, you don't have a boss, somebody's not watching you, and there's you can control your hours, and you can actually get paid what you're worth. Would you be open to something like that?
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can see. Right? Look, Julian, if I could show you an opportunity where, you can actually have freedom, brothers, right? You can have flexibility of your schedule. You have an opportunity to control you can control your hours and what you do with them. And you can actually get to that goal, right? Of getting paid what you're worth. Would you be open to something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. You see the difference, right? I'm acting. I'm just acting. Right? You ever watch Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
You see their what do you call them?
Their script or closing schedule.
Well, yeah, their mannerisms, the way they're presenting, and then I even read, if you read the Wolf of Wall Street, the actual human, the guy that was the actual Wolf of Wall Street, he talks about that. Jordan Belfort's book, he talks about that, the way you present information. Now, I'm just giving you, I'm emphasizing the crap out of it right now, but I'm acting. I'm trying to get the point across to you, because who else is going to talk to you like that? Nobody. Right?
Yeah.
So
Show the best version of yourself, just like when you're dating your girl for the first time. Show your best version of yourself. And you're acting. That's not you 100% of the time. You're acting.
that's one way to look at it, right? So now I did that. And so now the next thing is, on a scale 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 1 being the most, how eager and how open, right? Or what's it say on here? 10 being very helpful. Yeah, like I said.
How do you use it?
Okay, yeah. This is like I said, I used to do it like this. Just so you know, I did follow the script until I had a rhythm, and I just ran. Natural at that point. Look, if I could show, on a scale of 1 to 10, Julian, I mean, 1 being the least, 10 being the most, how eager and how open would you, how eager and how open would you be to making an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month on top of what you're currently doing?
Scale of 1 to 10?
Yep.
10.
10? All right, perfect.
But you want an objection if I say like 8 or 7 or something?
No, if they say 8, 7, I'm still continuing.
Okay.
Now, tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, now shoot low.
I could get 3 or 4.
3 or 4? Okay. So now, when I spoke to you, you said that you actually were open to making more money. What changed between that time I talked to you to now?
Well, I was thinking more than a couple $1,000.
Okay. So I'm just talking about starting off. And I'm just talking about working a couple hours here and there. I'm not talking about going at it full time just yet.
Okay.
But if you can get to that point, I mean, would you be open to that?
But then I'll look, yeah.
Up there?
Yeah.
What would you say then? 9, 10? 10? All right, cool. 10. Perfect. All right. So now, the next question I ask, so if you made that extra $1,000 to $2,000, what would you do with that money, Julian? What would you And then I always guide them. I give them an example. Some people might be able to just give it to you off the top of your head, but I'm just not going to assume it because I don't want to. I'm saving time by doing it that way. I tell them, look, what would you spend it on? What would you invest it on? What would you, what would you spend it on? What would you invest it on? What would you do with it? What would you pay off? What would you do with that money, Julian?
Well, probably invest most of it.
Okay.
In sports and growth.
So invest it in what?
That's what I want to learn more about.
Okay.
I know, you put money into the stocks and stuff. I don't know a lot about it, but you put money in, you get more money out.
Okay.
So then take a vacation.
Okay. So invest in vacations.
Yeah.
Now, all right, great. So just so I let everybody know, I do ask this question first. I do ask like this question, like I do you see how right here it says offer solutions on number 5? I save that one to the end. I always save it to the end. Why? Because I'm still collecting ammo here. I'm collecting more ammo. And I'm like, I could have used that and emphasized it even more, right? Because sometimes I might not get a lot of ammo here. Sometimes I don't. It just happens. It's real. But now he told me he wants to invest and vacation. So I'm collecting even more ammo to throw at him, right? And then now how fast would you want to make that money? Now the next 6 months, the next 3 months, or right away, as soon as possible, ASAP. I say ASAP.
And you add some 3, 6, or 8, 7?
Yeah, 6, 3 months, or right away.
Right away.
Right away. Okay, great. So there's no commitments there that are going on. You don't have any parties. You're not leaving on vacation. You don't have schooling right now that's going to get in the way. Nothing crazy.
I mean, just work and stuff.
Just work. Okay, but you can definitely still set aside the time for making money, right?
About 3 hours.
Okay, great. You haven't told me yet. We're not there yet. So
Oh, yeah, okay.
get them emotionally attached. You can make that stuff. What would you do with the extra? Okay. So now here, then I get into the 3 learning tracks, right? So we have 3 different learning tracks, Julian. Each one requires a different time commitment out of you, but then there's a different monetary award that comes along with each one. There's a different amount of pay that you're going to get along with each one. So now the first one that we have is what we call a silent partner. A silent partner. And I'm writing out all this stuff. You could have this format in paper on a sheet, and you could be going through it if you want. Think about it. When you go to an interview at a job, I've been ages, but you go to an interview at a job, they hold something out, right? They're looking at something, right? That piece. So you can have this in front of you, need it. It's okay. You'll be fine when you first start off, but eventually it'll be right here where it's automatic. They can show up in the middle of the night at your house, bump you in the head like this, and you can give the interview. That's how reactive it can become. So now, first of all, we have a silent partner, Julian. A silent partner is somebody that doesn't make too much of a commitment, right? That's somebody that has like 7 kids and 7 jobs, right? But still wants some extra money coming their way, right?
Yeah.
Again, I'm being fun with it. I'm being silly with it. Like, of course, ha, ha, ha. It's funny. Not too serious. Now, here people typically work about 0 to 3 hours a week with us. So not too much of a commitment, right? And here basically what's going on is that you're going to get our licenses, you're going to get our certifications, and then attend our weekly trainings that we have on Thursdays and Saturdays so you can learn and understand what we do. So when you're out there with friends, family, coworkers, strangers, and they start talking about insurance, they start talking about investments, anything regarding our business, well, you say, hey, I know somebody, right? And then you refer them over to Christian. And then they do all the work, they do all the full work, but because you, Julian, you referred that person to us, we compensate you and we pay you.
So you
Now-
pay for doing nothing?
Yeah, just for referring people like that to me. Now, people doing this typically make between $0 to $500 a month. 0, disclosure here, Julian. If you don't do nothing, you don't make nothing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Pretty straightforward?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, cool. Now, the next one is a part-time. Now, part-time folk, they work about 3 to 10 hours a week. Now, I know how the first one, I don't know, it doesn't have a time on the sheet, but I always say 0 to 3. And then just to keep, this is something I did to personally keep myself on track. And then it just stayed naturally, where I just did 3 to 10, 3 to 10. Because what it does is now I'm just, oh, okay. You know, I'm just piggybacking off the other time. So I don't forget 3 to 10. So now at this point, instead of referring people our way, Julian, we're actually going to go see people together. You're going to see hands-on what I say, what I do, and how I do it. So that way you can become confident and competent in the process. So that way 30 days from now, 60 days from now, you're doing what I do.
Okay.
And I'm holding out the pen like this in their face. So now people here tend to make more so between $500 to $1,500. And again, I'm piggybacking. $500 to $1,500 a month at this point. Okay. And then the last one is management and training. And then that's 10 hours plus, right? That plus could be whatever you want it to be, but at this point, you're working towards a higher position of leadership. You're working towards a position where you're going to work with more people. You're going to train more people. We're going to hold you a little bit more accountable. We're going to push you more. You heard how the best player on the team gets chewed up the most, Julian?
Yes.
Right? Now, if they're an athlete or we're an athlete, they'll come to their heart real quick. And if they're not, that's okay. They'll be able, they watched the movie, they saw something, they'll be able to relate to it, right? Yep. Now, the coach, he doesn't do that because he's trying to mess with you, Julian. He ain't doing that because he's trying to make your day bad. He ain't doing that because he wants to hurt your feelings. He's doing that because he wanted to make you better, right? Because you can take more, because you can handle it, right? And you're a team player, right, Julian?
Yes.
All right, cool, man. So now here, 15 people easily make $1,500 plus. Now, when it comes down to your time, Julian, out of these three, where do you think you fall? Okay. So you could set, and this is my following question. I don't think it's on here, but Julian, you could set aside a good 10 hours at the minimum from your current schedule to make money with us.
If I could do 1,500 or more? Yeah.
All right, great. So we'll do that. And again, the reason you guys are asking all these questions is because this is a pre-interview. This is so you don't go in there and do a whole presentation. That's the only reason you're doing it. Because you save yourself a lot of time. In the past, we used to give a 14-page freaking presentation just to say, so they could say, oh, I don't got the money. Oh, I got a felony. Oh, this is.
I gotta pay?
I gotta pay? Like, holy crap. Like, I don't know. But we, cleaned it up here. So now the last thing here, now this is it. After I asked those questions, remember I was collecting ammo. So I didn't ask this question just yet, offer the solution. So I've been collecting ammo. Now this is kind of the same thing that it's doing on this sheet, but I basically give you back everything you said. Look, Julian, if I could show you an opportunity where you're gonna have flexibility of your time, right? You're gonna be able to control that schedule. You ain't gonna get underpaid, right? Not get paid what you're freaking worth. And at the same time, you get to learn about investing, right? And you get to make that extra money to go on those vacations that you want to with your family. Would you be open to something like that?
Most definitely.
All right, awesome. Now, when somebody works with us, Julian, we do have to do a background check. We gotta make sure everybody's clean that works with us. You don't have any felonies, any bankruptcies, any misdemeanors, any discrepancies in your background?
No.
You didn't kill nobody, stab nobody, rob a bank lately? No, all right. You sure?
Look like you
All right. Think about it.
No, I'm good, man.
You're good? Okay, cool, man. Well, here we go. When somebody works with us, Julian, I mean,
Now, disclaimer, don't say that unless you say it in a way like
It's funny.
right,
you're
right,
comfortable, because
correct.
if you're too brand new, follow the script.
Correct. Again, I am being me. And I'm saying that very confidently in a point that we got ourselves to that. Just so you know, I was following my script myself and nobody has ever been offended by that.
Yeah, but, a new person could say it in a way where it sounds offensive because they just haven't made it theirs yet. So that's what we have a script to follow. Once you know what you're.
Yeah, like I said, eventually you make it natural. That you can do stuff like that and you have fun with it. Now, when somebody works with us, Julian, I mean, we investigate $800 to $900 and sending people through a schooling and licensing process. Now, if the individual themselves had already told me they're going to school and went to school or they're in school, I will relate to it right away. Like right now, you're going to school, right, Julian?
Yeah.
How much are you paying for school for your classes?
2,400 a semester.
$2,400 a semester. Out of pocket, or is it free? Is it the government? Well, how's it?
Out of pocket.
Out of pocket. All right, cool. So now, $2,400. Now, why are you making that investment, Julian? Why are you paying those $2,400?
For the degree when I get done.
Okay, and why are you getting the degree?
For more pay.
Okay, because you want to make more money, right?
Potentially, yeah.
Potentially make more money, right? Get yourself into a better position to make more money for your family, right, Julian? Okay. So look, same thing works with us, Julian. We spend a good $800 to $900 in sending you through a schooling and licensing process. Now, we don't mind making that investment in people. We just ask people to cover a refundable background check. Now, the refundable background check is a 124 because once you complete your training plus your courses and then you get your state license, we then reimburse you with a check. And depending on the period you were hired, but typically it stays like this, $400. So my question to you, Julian, is would you have any issue investing that in yourself?
No.
No. All right. Okay. Fair. Now, if they are young, I will say, would you have any issue investing that in yourself today? Today.
Why is that?
Why? Because they don't have the funds usually.
Oh, okay.
Majority of the time. A lot of the times, they don't have the funds.
Can you go back one more time to when you said when you asked for the money, like when you asked for the 124?
Yeah. So I say.
You ask people to.
Yeah. So I say, what do I say? $800. We spend about $800 to $900 on sending you through a schooling licensing process. Now, we don't mind making that investment in you. We just ask people to cover a refundable background check of 124, because once you complete your training plus your courses and you get your license, we then reimburse you with a check for $400. So my question to you, Julian, is would you have any issue investing this in yourself?
Not at all.
All right, great.
I was gonna say, John, I think some people seem like even if you don't say today.
Say it louder.
If you don't say today, like the guy who was on the interview with,
Yeah.
he still was like,
And-
oh, I gotta do it today.
Yeah. So, and again, I guess that was my fault for assuming. I mean, he was a grown ass man. I thought I would assume he would have it at 30 some years old. I assumed he'd have $124 some dollars. At least, you know, at least. So that's how I took it in that sense, right? So, but again, you know,
And that's true, man. Think about that. We're spent the world in our 30s, right? For an opportunity to make more money, we got we shouldn't think about it. 124, really? You know, like, honestly, if you think about it, it can't be like. That's when you could, if they're hesitant. That's the objection. Why am I 124? Well, listen, let me ask you a question. Isn't it that you don't have the 124? You don't see the importance of what we do, whatever it is, right? Or listen, we live in the richest country in the world. Don't mean disrespect, but let me ask you a question. If we live in the richest country in the world and we don't have 124, what we're doing is the problem, right?
Yes.
What we make our money is the problem.
Yeah.
Right? So the question you gotta ask yourself is how long do you want to keep having that problem?
Yeah.
Not for a long time. Not for a long time? Okay. So let me ask you a question. How quick you go up to 124?
I'll ask a couple friends or something.
Okay. So how quick?
Maybe about like 2 hours.
2 hours? Okay. So I can get your commitment to get your application filled out in 2 hours. I can process it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a call in case like in 2 hours I can't, but.
Okay.
So, yeah. So if they are like, if I feel good about them, and that's more experience, honestly. If I feel good about them, then I'll give them some time. And there's people that I've given them time and they come through.
Yeah. True.
So that's more so experience. Don't do that with everybody. I used to sit with, prior to having experience, I used to sit there. You remember that? You remember that? Yeah.
With what?
Back when we did paper applications, we felt like, okay, they'll get the money, right? You sat there on a stack of IBAs. Back when we did paper, right?
Yeah.
We sit on a stack like this, like.
And we never asked the right questions up front.
And that's true, and that's
That's
true.
what it was.
And that's true. We weren't very clear. So I'm gonna stop there. I just gave you guys the pre-interview, a little bit of how I go through that process, and that honestly lines it up. That lines it up, and then through the interview, I'm myself.
Trying to go over the numbers, find out what people got and stuff like that.
Yeah. Here we go. So, Mr. Medina, want to say?